Hello, now we're going to learn how to create stripe charts in Excel. A stripe chart displays data over time, usually using thin vertical colored lines. Each stripe represents a specific time period. The colors serve an important role. Darker or lighter shades indicate higher or lower values. Data such as weather patterns, stock market trends, or website traffic is ideal for visualizing with a stripe chart. Let's get started. In this spreadsheet, we've got a calculation on the average amount of rainfall per month in South Africa. What we've done is we've taken the average rainfall for all of the months, and that gave us one value for the whole year. And then based on that value, we calculated the rainfall difference, where there's an increase or a decrease on the year before. So in this case, 1982 had 27% less rain than 1981, and 1981 had 21% more rain than 1980. Now, to create a stripe chart, we're going to select all of our numbers. In this case, we're not going to include the years. Let's just select the numbers in row 2. Now that we've selected all of our numbers, we're going to click on Conditional Formatting on our Home tab. From there, we're going to go to Color Scales and More Rules. Let's change our 2-color scale to a 3-color scale. And I'll select our colors. For the lowest value, I'm going to choose white. For the midpoint, I'm going to go with a blue. And the maximum, I'm going to go with a dark blue. And press OK. So this is how the conditional formatting has formatted our cells. So now what we want to do is we want to make our cells much longer, because characteristically, stripe charts are actually a bunch of really long cells. So I'm clicking and dragging my cell longer. The next thing I want to do is I actually don't want these numbers to appear in the cells. I don't want to delete them completely because then my formatting would disappear. Remember, your conditional formatting that you've added is pulling from the number in your cells. So if you delete that number, you ultimately delete the color as well. So let's select our numbers again. Right click and say Format Cells. Let's go to Custom. And in the type box, we're going to put 3 semicolons. This is a trick which will just make your numbers disappear. There we go. Our numbers are gone, but they aren't deleted. And we know this because if we click on a cell, we can still see the number in this tab up here. Now what we want to do is we want to show our data in decades. Maybe we don't want 1980, 1981, 1982. We don't want every single year. We just want one label for all of the years under 1980 to 1989. So in this case, we want that label to be 1980. What we're going to do is we're going to click on our dates, click and drag until we get to 1989. Now that we've selected 1980 to 1989, we are going to merge and center. Say OK. And now we have one label for all of the years under the decade of 1980. Now I'm going to do this for the rest of the decades as well. So here we go. We've got all of our decades next to each other and no other numbers. The next thing we want to do is we want to make our columns much skinnier so that we can see more of our data in one view. So what we're going to do is we're going to select all of our data, all of our colored cells. Now we're going to go to the top of the columns and you'll see that your cursor changes up here and it becomes 2 arrows. Now we're going to click and drag our column to the width we want it to be. So we want them to be quite skinny and then it should automatically change the rest of our columns as well. There we go. Our columns have changed. Now, there's a few hashtags over here, and that's just because the column width isn't wide enough for our label. So we're just going to make that a little bit bigger. And there we go. We can see our 2020 label. And there we go. There's your stripe chart. So what is this showing you? It's showing you that the columns with lighter colors represent years with less rain than the darker colors. The darker the color of the column, the more rain in comparison with the year prior.